So this is gonna be Sohyang Arirang Alone. And if you haven't heard, don't know about Sohyang, she is incredible. She's insane. She's super good. Um, yeah, she she the way she approaches her voice is again it's all head voice, and then you choose and she chooses to add chest voice to a specific note and whatever note she wants, and that allows her to belt insanely high. And I've seen her belt a C6, which is crazy. So that's how it works. It's head voice, and then you add the chest voice to it, so that you're super stable whatever you do, and that way your folds can adjust depending on what note you're singing. So in the low notes you would need to add more chest resonance, and the high notes you need to add less of that. So it's tricky, but once you get used to it, it becomes really easy. So low notes need more air and high notes need less air. And yeah, so let's see what she does here, because this has been very asked for, very suggested thing. So I'm curious what's going on here, because I can't, like, why would you want me to watch this so much? So let's see it. So this is super light, as we can see. It sounds so angelic. So it's slightly breathy, or airy, you could call it. And it's really her whole voice pretty much is effortless. So this is the one of the most effortless things, of course, and it sounds like it. So it is like that. And the way to do this, in the beginning for beginner students, it's really tough to do really tiny, light tones and just notes like this, because they require a lot of breath support, which means air resistance. So they require really little air. Sorry, really very little air, and a lot of control. So this is lovely. It's already really beautiful.
아리랑 아리랑 울로 아리랑 아리랑 고개로 넘어가 보자.
This is really beautiful. So it's really, it could, everyone feels it differently, but it could feel really in the back and really tiny. But again, you need a lot of breath support and control to pull this off, because it's slightly breathy. It's really, really beautiful. I love it.
가다가 힘들면 쉬어가더라도 손잡고 가보자, 다 함께 가보자.
So even if these notes are really quiet, the mic is really close. Even if these notes are really quiet, she's opening her mouth a lot. Even if it doesn't look like it, this is a lot. There's a lot more than you'd expect. Oh, this is so such a tiny tone. Like, why would you want to open? Well, to make it beautiful and resonant. That's why it's so the sound is so rich, because of the opening. So you have to open, even though this is a really tiny sound. in order to make it more resonant, more beautiful, all of the good stuff. So, and then once you start to belt, just adding more power, then you'd want to open even more. So it's really beautiful. So you can hear in her voice, she's constantly sliding. Like it's, how do I say it? It's so legato. It's her whole voice is connected. She goes to a lighter tone for the beginning or the end of a word, and then she goes to a more powerful, and she's constantly shifting like this, like waves within one line, within one word, and it's so beautiful. So that how she does that is she's adding more power, more air to her voice, and that powers it, and that lets the chest voice come through her head voice. So it all feels like head voice, but then it sounds like chest voice because it is chest voice, but it's not locked in the low notes. It's not. It's effortless. There's no struggle to go high. Again, beautiful vibrato. So all of this requires a lot of control. A lot of control, a lot of support. This is really tough to do. This is what makes the emotional singing emotional, even though maybe she's not feeling these emotions. She's acting. So when you're singing, you're an actor. If you give into the emotion, you may start crying, which means you may lose the control over your voice, and we don't want that. So she's really expressing herself through her air, through her breath, through this light and power, and it's that's what makes it so emotional and beautiful, and it's so beautiful. I love it. Oh my god. So she starting it lightly and then slowly building up the emotion. The the instruments, it's all so beautiful. So oh yeah, let's see that again. So if you can listen to the sound at one point, in order to make the belt stronger and deeper, she's lowering her larynx, but it doesn't happen right away. So let's see that. So in order to become louder and beltier, she's lowering the larynx and adding more power, more of her chest voice to come through. So if you were to become loud on high larynx, that would be really fatiguing, and it could be even damaging to the voice. So of course she's not doing that. Her larynx, she's lowering it purposefully in order to be able to make this belt so effortlessly and with such depth as well. So don't go loud on a high larynx. So that means rock singers aren't really loud because, I mean, they have a microphone. Like, why would you need to be loud? Anyway, this is really beautiful. Let's see it again. So for that second part, when she went down, she purposefully, this is a stylistic choice, she lowered the larynx even more. Look how much she's opening. Look how much her mouth is moving in order to make the to do the pronunciation and to be clear when she's singing. So you have to do this if you want to be understandable, and she is. So we heard that transition. For her, it's not exactly a transition. She's still in head voice, and then for the low note, she would add more air to do that. So she starts at E, which is a really, really cool vowel because it makes singing really easy, just like the U. If you're starting up, the E and the U are really beginner-friendly vowels, and then making it deep on the low notes is harder. So I mean, she's doing that. Of course, she is. Brilliant singer. So what she does is it's not just an E. She's also raising her cheeks and really leaning in for that nasal resonance. And what nasal resonance does is it protects your voice, especially when belting. And that's why all of the belt faces have this going on in the nose. And that means the singer's reaching for nasal resonance. So what it does not only protects the voice, it also makes singing really easy. And it also could help with deepening, like last finishing touches, ironing out the voice in a sense that you can just be more agile. So go through your whole range more easily, but also riffs and runs become easier. Switching between the registers becomes easier. Just everything becomes easier, and it's not that audible. It's not that we can't really hear how there's nasal resonance. It's really hard to catch, but she's doing it all the time, and especially when she does this, she's really reaching for it, and she does have it during the rest of the time. So you can have it a little and you can have it a lot. You don't need to have it to a maximum degree or to a minimum. So it's not 100 or 0. There's in betweens, and you can do that. So the nasal resonance is controlled by the soft palate, and if it's all the way up, you blocked your nose, like your nasal resonance. And if it's all the way down, you've opened it. And it can be up, and you can still have nasal resonance. So like I said, it can be up only a certain percentage. So that's what she's doing. So it's up to create the space, and then it's also actually slightly lowered to get the best of both worlds. So it's really beneficial for singing and saving your voice and just going for the longevity of the voice. It's really important. So she's also dancing with her body as she's singing. So her words, with each word, she's bouncing, and it's so beautiful. And with that dress, it's so beautiful. So by the way to know, oh, am I having this resonance? Well, for the low notes, it's easier to feel a nose vibration. But for the high notes, it's really hard to feel your nose vibrating with the nasal resonance. So it's best to touch and feel if there's any air coming out of your nose, even if it's a little. you have it. You're benefiting from nasal resonance. So it's really important. And she's actually, if you see her, she's always smiling. That's not just because of the emotion in the song. It's also because of the nasal resonance. Her cheeks are always slightly raised, and that's her baseline expression when singing. So we're opening up the nasal resonance. It's really important. And she's doing that all the time. It's so good. Wait, oh my god, that was so beautiful. Gosh, so there was a really low note at one point, and she did not lower her larynx, which means she's not relying on tension to get it, and that's what we should look for when we're practicing as well. We shouldn't lower our larynx for purposefully for low notes in order to get them. That means they're not exactly well supported. They're just not free flowing, and she did it really well. She did not lower the larynx. It was really beautiful. It stayed right where it should be. And then, so for these high notes that are really, we could call them tiny, really quick transitions. It's not a transition in a sense that, oh, we're switching a register or we're switching anything. It's more of a transition about the airflow and the control that's going on. And that takes a lot of time to perfect these quick changes of the voice. And wouldn't you know it, nasal resonance to the help. It really helps to do this. Oh my god. So look, every time, even now, she continues to express herself with her hands, with her whole body. So she's visualizing what she's singing. And it's not just for her, it also helps for us. So let's see that again. As she goes from a low to a high note, the hand goes up slowly, and then it's just a visualization of the notes and how they're flowing. So that's really useful when singing, to visualize, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going? And you can just, even when you're doing riffs, you can use your finger, you can use your hand, and like she's doing, it's really useful because we can't really see the voice. So just helping ourselves with visualizing it is really useful. I'd have the same reaction if I was live there to see it. She is so incredible. So the high notes, like we talked, they require very little air, but a lot of air control. So, how do we put this? So starts at head voice, and then she adds a little bit of chest, and that's what creates the chest voice sound. But it's so free for her, and it sounds so effortless because it is, and I'm sure of it. She can go way higher because of this, because adjusting and just choosing when to add chest voice instead of starting in chest voice and then trying to go up that's really tough to pull off. So the other way around, head voice and then adding the chest voice is way easier to do. She's amazing.
아리랑 아리랑 홀로 아리랑 아리랑 고개를 넘어 간다.
No, no, no. Oh my god. No. So beautiful. Oh my god. That was so beautiful. Thank you. I oh my god. The ending especially. So starts with more chest voice and as she goes up, well, added chest voice. And as she goes up, she lets go of it. There's no need to bring it up. She's not belting, she's ending. So literally the beginning of the line or the beginning of the word starts with a deeper tone, and then towards the end she's lightening it up. So you have to make constant changes to your words when you're doing emotional singing, when you're performing, because that's the way to get through, get the emotion through, and make the public, the audience feel along the words. So she lingered on to that N, and then in the end, the ah was again very light and breathy, and then she added a vibrato to it. So that's the way to end properly. I mean, it's such a beautiful song, all of it. I haven't seen this, and this is incredible. That was so beautiful. I honestly, I want to watch it again. It's really good. Yeah, thank you for the recommendation. I love it. I loved it.